Hi, guys, and welcome to week 9 of the semester, which means we're almost halfway there. Actually, we're more than halfway there. So, welcome. We have an exciting lecture this week because we have a guest speaker. So, the next project that you have to do is your project 2, which, if you've already gone forward in the course, you should have an informational video about how to do that project. But I thought it would be helpful for you since we're not in a face-to-face setting. And typically in my face-to-face settings, we have presentations that happen and introduce you a little bit better to some of these trans dances that we're talking about this block. However, we have a special treat today because I asked my cousin, who has participated in and is a part of the modern culture of EDM dance. And she is going to talk to us today a little bit about what exactly this is. And she's going to give us some demonstration as far as clothing, costuming, makeup, and then kind of in general, the overall culture that she's experienced as a participant and an observer in the EDM dance culture. We're going to talk to her a little bit back and forth about some of the questions that you guys will also be answering for your project too. Remember, it's an individual project, and so you get to do it all on your own. And this is one of the options that you can explore in your project, which is this EDM culture. So we'll make it quick without further ado. I'm going to introduce my cousin Sarah, and she will be speaking to us about the EDM culture. So go ahead and take it away, Sarah, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah. As Rachel mentioned, I am her cousin, and I have been a part of the EDM rave culture for quite some time, and it's been such a wonderful experience for me, and I was over the moon when Rachel asked me to participate, so I'm very, very glad to be here and hope you guys enjoy. Just to kick it off, I mean, my experience with EDM started when I was 21. I had just moved back from college, and I had made this group of friends, and I needed a new group of friends. You know, when you come back from college, you sometimes feel a little bit alone. And I decided to get a couple friends together, and we decided to go to a rave on New Year's Eve. Changed my life. It was one of the best times I've ever had in my life, still to this day. I have photos from it, videos from it. I can still remember the music. I can remember certain moments about it. It was just such a wonderful experience for me. That I feel like it's something that we need to strive for today, especially now with everything going on. It's something that can bring a lot of people together. Music is something that brings everybody together. It doesn't matter whether you're young, old, black, blue, white, doesn't matter. You can have music in your life and it connect with you in a way and connect someone else in a way as well too. So I'm very excited to be a part of your knowledge, education of the EDM culture. Is there a question that you have, Rachel, to start with?
Sure. So a couple of the things that the students are talking about, first and foremost is, what is EDM culture? So what is it? What is it that we say when we say, okay, well, we went to an event that includes, electronic dance music. What is it, and what is that culture like?
So it's basically, so when you first enter the world of EDM, you hear a lot of people talk about PLUR, peace, love, unity, and respect. It's something that everybody in the entire EDM culture and community knows. And it's something that everybody should be practicing. It's something that can ignite, two people that have never met each other in their entire life. They can become friends over this. It's accepting everybody as they are. It's unifying people under music. It's respecting the fact that you have your own way of doing it and I have my own way of doing it, but we can all share in the fact that we can live in that moment together. As far as EDM is considered, that feeling that happens when you hear them dance music and you just want to get up and you have no control whatsoever over your body or your emotions. I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it. It's being able to share that experience with someone that you may not know. You may have no clue who that person is. You might not even live in the same state. I've met people from all over the world at these different events, and it's such a wonderful feeling to be able to share that with so many people. It's crazy. It's insane. It's about the feeling. EDM culture is about that feeling that you get when you can stand next to somebody and share the same experience and know that you both are in that moment just happy. It's the energy, it's the excitement. It's amazing. I can't say that enough. It's just a wonderful feeling. The community itself is a feeling, and it can happen anytime. One of the things that I love about it is that I'll be in the car and all of a sudden a song will come on, and I know exactly where I was when I first heard that song at an event and how it made me feel and who I was with. Oh, it gives you goosebumps like it's happening right now.
Okay, good. That's awesome. So that kind of went into my question about like what are some of the positive and negatives of it, which I'm going to ask you in just a moment. But I want to backtrack to the plur: peace, love, unity, and respect, which are kind of the four tenets or the foundation of what EDM culture is about. And
Yes.
I want to point out to my students, first of all, so when we talk about dance and when we're talking about trance dance in particular, peace, love, unity, respect. And I want to point out to the students for my course that when we're talking about peace, love, unity, and respect, and we're going to go through some of the elements of our course, in peace, love, unity, and respect, there's no gender in those four terms. So we don't
No.
identify any gender in any of those terms. In any of those terms, nor do we identify race, right? There's an ambiguity for race. There's an ambiguity for gender. There's also a political ambiguity. There, right? You don't have to be associated with any particular party to have all four of those elements
No.
included. And then I would also say with that, we don't have any religious or socioeconomic telltale signs.
Exactly.
So in other words, with the tenets of this course and what it is about in this trance dance culture and the foundation of what it is, we don't see any of those pop up. So I just wanted to point that out for the students so they can kind of see in relationship to the course that none of those are an actual factor. So back to you, Sarah. What do you think, like, can you share one of your, obviously your first time was really exciting and very positive for you. So
Yes.
two-part question, have you ever had what was your most positive or best experience? And then secondly, have you ever had a negative experience? And then within that question, I want you to kind of address the ideas of, so we know what it is, it's dance, it's music, it's community, it's peace, love, unity, respect, but then also what elements are there that make that up? And then within that, can we
Okay.
share a really positive experience and a really negative one, or
Sure.
if you had a negative one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I would be lying if I said I haven't had a bad one. You have to have a bad one to know what a good one is. Um, I'll jump immediately into my bad and good experience that I had. Planned on going to a particular rave called Escape Halloween in what is it? Ontario, kind of.
San
England. San
Bernardino.
Bernardino. Yeah, San Bernardino. That's it. So I was planning on going with a group of friends. They decided to bail at the last minute after I had already gotten my tickets in my hotel. So what happened was I said, you know what, screw it. I have the tickets. I'm going to go because I want to go. I needed to go. I wanted to go. I wanted to follow through with my commitment to myself of saving up the money to be able to go. So I got to the hotel. I was there by myself. I was checking in, and these two guys walk in, and you know, I'm no discrimination whatsoever. They're Hispanic origin, and they were checking into their room as well too. And I heard them talking, and they were talking about this festival as well. And I was like, "Hey, are you guys going to Escape?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's my first time. I just turned 21. My first time. I've never been before, and my buddy over here dragged me and said this would be awesome." So it's like, great, awesome. Well, Sarah, nice to meet you. The rest of the weekend, I had so much fun getting to know these two people who I had never met in my entire life, who were from a different place from me, different walk of life. And honestly, we ended up having the best weekend together. I ended up having family that came up and joined me. They met these people, and ultimately we ended up becoming such good friends that we have all stayed in touch over the last couple of years. It was a great experience. It started off super negative with some people not joining me, but it ended up being a very much more positive experience because I decided to branch out. So going along with the poor part and relation to that, peace. These people, these two guys and I we did not have any relationship whatsoever, but there was, apologize. There was peace between us. There was nothing that we could have argued about. We were all there for the same reason. There was no reason why anybody could not get along with the other person when we brought our group together, because everybody there was peaceful. Everybody there was happy. Love, that ties into that there as well too. Everybody in our group knew, it's not love. It's not an I love you. It's not a marriage I love you. It's expression of love for everybody and being able to be open with that love to accept other people into your group. The unity part, I mean, we were together all weekend. Like, I was still in my hotel room, they were still in their hotel room, but like when I was going to the event, I would write a note and put it on their door and say, hey, come find me, I'll be here on this time. And then we found each other, we met up. The respect part is just mutual respect. It's respect for everybody around you, and in that moment you can completely understand what the relationship is. You're respecting each other. You're respecting the mutual understanding you guys both have for this amazing community in this event. Respect for the music, respect for the artists, respect for the people that do this, respect for the people that put this kind of event on for us to feel this way. To unify people under that culture is just is insane. It's amazing. One of the things that you do as part of Plur is you exchange candy. You take beads, you make them, and you exchange with people. And when you exchange, you both put up a peace sign, you say peace, and then you come together and you do a love for heart. And then you come together and you do a unity is when you guys hold hands together. And then respect is when you actually trade your candy with each other. I have so much candy that I've collected over the years from trading with different people, but each of them has a special meaning to me. You guys saw when I first came on, I had on my candy mask. This was something that somebody made for me, and I will always remember that he made it for me. It's amazing. This one, we did a Star Wars theme one year with a group of friends. I have Baby Yoda. Who knew that it was going to be such a thing now? We did Star Wars a couple of times, and so I have another Star Wars candy that I made. We did casual Hawaiian Friday one time, and we made headbands with flowers. All of the stuff that I have is memories and happiness, peacefulness, love, unity, and respect for all these different people and all these walks of life that I've met throughout this whole entire thing. But like Rachel said, again, there are some other bad times. I've had bad times where people get involved with too much drugs, too many drugs, too much alcohol. And that can always ruin it. That can always give you a bad impression of somebody, especially if they do too much or, drink too much. But the unity and the respect and the peace and the love that goes with that is making sure that that person is okay. I don't think I've ever seen a person just laying on the ground. I think I've always seen other people there and making sure that that person is okay, helping them get water, making sure that they get to the medical tent. Everybody is there to help each other. And the negative is diminished completely by the positive. Positive outweighs every negative experience I've ever had. For every negative experience, I could give you 5 positive ones. It's a community. It's a community of people that love each other and want to care for each other and care for something other than just themselves. I hope that answers the positive negative question.
Good. Thank you, Sarah. So, and then for those, there are some folks who, when we talk about EDM culture, this is completely foreign. So they have no idea what we're talking about. They have no idea what actually happens. If we were to say, okay, well, this is what's going on, and especially for like older populations who really don't understand it, or maybe they have some intrinsic biases that come along with the term of a rave, right? Or labeling it as a rave or as EDM culture, or as, there's potentially drugs or alcohol. Can you talk a little bit about that and just quickly go over, here's my question to you, Sarah. So through the night, if you went to your first EDM event. Tell us,
Mm-hmm.
go as quickly as you can through, okay, how does it work? What do you wear?
Gotcha. Yep.
What are some potential substances that you potentially would be taking or imbibing
Yep.
with alcohol or whatever? And then what happens? So what is the event? How does it unfold through it? Like if you could take us through a walk through the first evening of someone who's never been, has no idea what's going on.
Of course, I would love to. So, it starts months before. It starts months before you even decide that you're going to go, because you're already getting excited about the potential costumes and makeup and things that you're going to do while you're there. So, a couple months ahead of time, when you're buying your tickets, you get together with your group of friends, or you don't. Just couldn't go solo, independent. And you basically think about what you would like your theme or your idea to be as far as your costumes go, because it takes a lot of preparation. I have costumes that took me months to put together. But I was always a plan. It was always something that I wanted to wear, or an idea, or a costume, or something fun that I wanted to add. Um, Coincidentally enough, I am wearing my favorite tutu right now. This is my favorite tutu in the entire world. I've worn it to probably, I can't tell you how many raves. It's been around the world, and it's one of my favorite pieces that I usually almost always love to have in my outfits. So as soon as you got your themes and you're getting your costumes going, you also decide to start making your candy that goes along with it, and you decide which ones you're going to be trading with people, which is super fun. So like I showed you guys, I have a couple Star Wars ones from a Star Wars one that I went to. I didn't trade any of those because they were super valuable to me, but I got some other great ones in return. So you've got your candy and your costume, you're kind of thinking about everything. As soon as you get closer to the date, you start picking up hotels, making sure that you guys have planned for food, alcohol, water, that kind of stuff. And also drugs. If you're planning on taking any controlled substances or uncontrolled substances, you want to make sure that you plan that out in plenty of time. So leading up to it, day or two before, you want to start making sure that you're drinking a ton of water. You're going to be dancing for 10 hours straight. You're going to be sweating your balls off. You need to make sure that you drink a ton of water and that you eat healthy. If you are planning on doing drugs or alcohol, you need to make sure that you're in a better state of mind, physically, mentally, just to make sure that you can handle all of that stuff. So leading up to it, you get your crew together, you drive to the hotel, you make sure that you can check in, you start getting ready. You get ready probably about 4 or 5 hours before the event actually starts. It's a lot of makeup, it's a lot of costumes, it's a lot of putting all these different pieces together, and you need time to be able to do that. So I wanted to show you guys just a few of the costumes that I've made, just because they've taken months of my time. So I did this one. We did a Batman theme, and I was Poison Ivy. So I made a leaf top. It's like a little, bathing suit thing. And then, of course, as you guys just saw, I love my tutus. So I made a green tutu that has leaves all throughout it. And so that was basically my outfit. I did super dark green makeup with lots of gold. My hair was in like those little buns that Poison Ivy did in Batman, little curls and everything. You want to make sure that you're wearing comfortable shoes the entire time. So if you need to buy the $10 pair at Walmart that matches your outfit, go for it. That's what I did. Another outfit that we did one year was me and my ex-boyfriend at the time, we did the King and Queen of Hearts. So I made a tutu with all the different colors, had some hearts thrown in on it. Another time we did a galaxy celestial theme. And so I made a glittery purple blue-ish tutu, and then I did a wrap top that has like little galaxies and stuff on it. Those are just some of the ideas and the examples that I have. It is a process to try and figure out a theme that meets everybody. So, make sure if you have some dudes in your group, dudes don't necessarily want to do a girly theme, but sometimes they do. You never know. That's why the Casual Friday, Hawaiian Friday, that was I thought that was the greatest idea for the first night. It was a 3-day rave, and we wanted to make sure we were comfortable and wanted to check out the scenery before we had the other 2 days. Casual Hawaiian Friday, easy. Everybody's got a Hawaiian shirt. So you can go as little or as much as you want on your makeup, your costume, and your hair. I have seen girls spend hours on the hair, making it perfect, hairspraying, whatever. But the fact of it is that it doesn't really matter how much you do or you don't. You could go walking in jeans and a t-shirt and people would still accept you. You could go in a thong and a bikini and everybody is still like, wow, look at that pretty girl, check her out. No, it doesn't matter what you wear, what the costume is. Everybody is complimenting you on you. That's the thing. They're not comparing it to anybody else. They're looking at you and saying, wow, you look beautiful. I love your skirt. I love your top. Wow, good job. Did you make that? That's awesome. Everybody is so complimentary of everybody else in that same space that it's wonderful. It goes back to the peace, love, unity, respect. I respect that you decided to go all out on your costume. Good for you. So we've gotten to the part where we've gotten all dressed up. Costume is ready, hair is done, makeup's done. Next part you have to worry about is what you're going to bring, because if you're wearing something as skimpy as a bikini, you can't put too many things in your bikini. So you got a guy friend, use his wallet, use his pocket, use something. Some people like to put their ID underneath their shoe. Totally works as well too. Deciding whether or not you're going to bring in a credit card or cash. That is a huge, huge issue that a lot of people don't really remember right before because they've probably been drinking or doing some drugs. The other thing too is getting through security. If you are going to bring in drugs or alcohol, how are you going to get past the security guys when you get in? So as soon as you are through all of that, make sure you have your ID, just because you're going to be buying alcohol most likely. You want to make sure that you have your room key or your car key, whatever you're getting back to. And trying to find it in a 10,000 person festival is not going to work. So the minute that you walk through, depending on whether or not your team or your crew or yourself have decided to go in early or late, you can probably already hear music going on blocks away from the place. It's loud. The process of getting in can sometimes be long, but while you're listening to that music, it doesn't seem that long. It makes it more fun. And usually there's somebody in the line that's got a bottle of something, or, you know, just everybody's got water or ice chip, like everybody's just sharing and just being happy and getting everybody else pumped up. Sometimes somebody will start a chant while you're in line and you'll be screaming along with them. You have no idea who they are, but you'll be screaming along with them. So again, once you get inside and you start hearing all that music, you start to get excited, especially if you've ingested some sort of alcohol or drugs. You can feel it on your skin. It's like goosebumps. It's kind of contagious, because as soon as you start feeling a song that maybe kind of hits you in some way, you're like, okay, all right, okay, ready, let's go. So that feeling that you get, but that just draws you right into whatever tent you want to go to. Some events have more than one tent. Some events have one tent. Just kind of depends. And so then you start looking at your phone and you're looking at the set list and you're like, okay, well, I want to see that guy. Okay, you want to see that guy. Okay, let's walk around. You know, let's check it out first, see where the bathrooms are. That's very important. You got to know where the bathroom is, just in case later you get a little lost. But that said, again, that second that you come and you start hearing that music and you're feeling it, you're like, okay, like there's an extreme moment of just calm, but chaos at the same time, because you're like, I'm here. I'm here. All of this preparation, all of the makeup and the costumes and the candy and the people and the money that I've spent, I am finally here. I am ready to go. And that's just it's one of the funnest parts. And you know that the moment of that entire evening is going to flash by in a second, especially if you're on drugs or alcohol. You're not going to remember probably some parts of the evening. But at the same time, you are the happiest in that entire evening you have ever been in your life. You have just this comfortable sense that everything is going to be okay no matter what happens. You are with your friends, you're with your companion, you're with your significant other, you're with your best friends, you're with people you just met, and you just know that it doesn't matter what happens, because it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine, because you're so happy. You're so intensely just happy for life. Doesn't matter what else is going on. You know, I've met people that had a person that passed away the day before, someone super close to them. And they came because they said, you know what, this is what that person would want me to do. And they end up having a great time, and they don't necessarily have that same kind of grief that they would have had. It turns that whole emotion around. Everybody can be happy in that moment. Usually it ends with you kind of stumbling home a little bit, depending on if you're going to your hotel or not. But at that point, you're usually with 10,000 other people, and you are all just, oh my God, that was a great night. We had so much fun. That was the best night ever. And usually, as soon as you get back to your hotel, there's a bunch of other people still partying, and so you can keep the night going if you want to, or you can just crash into bed.
Okay, good. Okay, without me really even asking for it, and students, if you were listening to Sarah talk, I want you to rewind it if you need to. But if you go back and listen to some of her words about the evening's experience, one thing that is very clear with the words that she was using is that it's transformational. So, in other words, from the moment, even months in advance, right? You're preparing for a transformation, and then when you finally, almost like a dream, it's almost like that you feel the emotion of it with all that preparation, with all that time, with all that energy and money that you spent to get to this one moment, that's
Yeah.
even though it's beginning, a few months in advance with your preparations, you start to feel that moment of transformation. And then as the evening goes on, and of course there's been many scientific studies that show that some of the drugs that you may be potentially taking, like hallucinogens in particular, are actually quite effective on reducing, not that I'm pushing drugs, guys, don't read into it that much, but that they are helpful in moving through some deep emotional distress, right? And that's a scientific fact. That's not me pushing drugs. But I wanted you to listen, if you could, to the both the tone in her voice and then also the words that she was speaking about those moments of transformation as a participant, right? As someone who's seen it, and then if you also listen to her prior words too about as an audience member and how they take care of each other also. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a transformation that occurs both within the person as an individual, and then there's also a transformation that occurs as a group, as a unit, with the tendencies and the foundational structures of the plur and what that culture means. So I think you covered all the bases for us, Sarah. The last thing, well, of course, in this time and the weird times that we're living right now, of course, these festivals are sort of on, the back burner for now. But
They're all virtual. It's all virtual.
okay, so those of you at home who are interested in maybe checking this out, if you haven't already, maybe you can pop online and see some of those happening virtually and get a little rave going on in your living room, right? Okay,
Exactly.
awesome. Do you have anything else that you want to show us, Sarah, costume wise, or anything else that
Not
you didn't pull out?
not costume wise. I wanted to just, you know, I wanted to finish with how I still keep this stuff in my life now. As you guys heard from a couple previous other stories, I still have those same friends. I still keep in touch with them. I still, I've met people that have met other people and now they're friends. And the community keeps giving back to itself. Um, one of the best feelings in the world is being in your car and all of a sudden you hear a song that comes on and then you start feeling all the same feelings that you felt, because again, like my cousin said, it's a process. You going through all the motions of the preparations and then transforming that all that preparation into an evening is paving the way for multiple people, not just yourself, to have that same kind of evening. You're putting it out into the universe, this good stuff, this the peace, love, unity, and respect. You're putting that out there for other people to grab onto by being in that community, by being yourself. You get to basically take your personality and light it on fire. You want to make sure that everybody else can feel what you're feeling. One of the biggest things, again, that I take with me, though, are those feelings. There's nothing like falling down and then having a hand reached out to you that says, can I help you up? Or, to looking around at all these different people and all you see is people smiling. Like there's something that happens, that transformation again, that happens when you see other people happy and you yourself are happy. It's the most insane feeling of euphoria. And of course, yes, drugs can definitely help, but that euphoric feeling will happen no matter what. It's going to be there, and you can always remember it and feel it again when you hear that music again. And like Rachel said, there's not really going on right now, but they do have virtual ones, and you can still feel that same feeling with that music when you see all those lights and the colors, and you know, your favorite DJ comes on and he's remixed something that you haven't heard before, and you get excited. It's a fun lifelong experience that I don't think will ever go away. And I'm happy that I'm able to share that with you guys. Hopefully you got excited just hearing me get excited about it.
Well, I did. I'm ready to go now. I'm like, okay, let's do
I know, let's go. We gotta go.
it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for
All
sharing
right,
your
thank you.
experience.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah, all of the helpful things that I think the kids will actually get a better idea, especially if they haven't ever gone to one, but then to be able to take some of these things from it. So again, thank you, Sarah. We appreciate
You're very
you.
welcome. Thank you
All
guys for
right.
having me. Good luck with your
Thank
projects.
you. All right. Thanks. Bye.